Hello, my name is Dylan Shower. I retired from the Army in July of 2020 after 24 years of service. I initially went in the Army as a Cavalry Scout or a 19 Delta. I left active duty, went to National Guard as a Bradley mechanic for a few years, and then I went back on active duty. I went to Special Forces Assessment and Selection, and then the Special Forces Qualification course, where I went on to earn the coveted Green Beret as a Special Forces Weapons Sergeant. I then performed the duties of Special Forces Weapons Sergeant on the Operational Detachment Alpha. It was a military freefall team. I deployed to Iraq a few times, Africa, and Afghanistan. Throughout most of my adult life, I struggled off and on with alcohol and sexual immorality. My drinking would get progressively worse, and when it got to the point of being an issue in my personal and professional life, I usually would do a train up and then do a follow-on deployment. The problem was self-correcting pretty much. They were deployments and the train ups were the guardrails to keep me from going too far in my drinking and other struggles with women. I come back from the deployment and slowly start to fall back into old habits with alcohol and then with women. Then, due to some of the experiences on the deployments, my drinking would get a little bit worse each time too, at each repeat of the cycle. My drinking also led to lowered inhibitions and numerous failed term relationships with women. After my retirement, I had no more guardrails to keep me on the road anymore, and I lost whatever little bit of purpose that I had left. I had no relationship with Christ at that time whatsoever. Needless to say, I went off the deep end with my drinking and self-medication. When alcohol wasn't enough, I switched to cocaine and other stimulants. I also ended up in a relationship with another addict who I had met in rehab, and we were both very toxic for one another. I ended up in the county jail for a domestic violence charge, and the local sheriff knew of my military background and asked if I would be interested in meeting with the founder of an organization called Impact Montana. I had never heard of this organization, as I was relatively new to Montana, but he said the founder was a former retired Army chaplain and a fellow combat veteran. I said, I'm not that interested in religion, but I'll speak with the gentleman. What did I have to lose? I had the time on my hands, wasn't going anywhere. So the first time I met Ryan, we went over our childhood experiences, and we both had a lot of common connections, especially in the Chain of Lakes area of Illinois. I grew up there, but his grandparents, he would come visit there in the summers. So we swam in some of the same lakes there, went to some of the same places. So it was kind of weird to know someone that far away from me being from Illinois, Wisconsin area, and then meeting him in Montana. So it's like, it was pretty neat to have that connection. We connected on numerous levels too, not just there. And when we spoke about my lack of a relationship or any real knowledge of Christ or God, he tasked me with reading the book of John. Up until that point, I had never read a book of the Bible. I hadn't even read more than a few chapters. And after reading the book of John, that little spark ignited my passion for the Lord and for God. I also participated and completed the 90-day Live to Thrive challenge as well. Ryan and Impact Montana, they found me at my lowest point and offered me a hand up. I was baptized, a born-again believer on New Year's Eve 2023 by no other than Ryan himself in the Missouri River. My future is looking very good and promising. I've got over 15 months of being clean and sober. I'm walking with the Lord. I attend church every Sunday. I also attend a weekly Celebrate Recovery meeting at my church. And I also do a men's Bible study every week there as well. My relationships with my children are improving daily, and I'm still trying to fully figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. I'm leaning towards something I was doing with veterans outreach in the jails or prisons, or maybe even veterans treatment courts or something along those lines. I just want to give back to veterans, the hand up that I was given. I can't thank Ryan and Impact Montana enough for offering me a hand up out of my pit of despair. God bless.